주세요. 빼고 주세요. 예쁜 여자와 담배 피고 차 마실 땐 메뉴판이 복잡해서 못 고를 땐 사글세 내고 돈 없을 때 밥 대신에.
Hello, family! You're watching MKJTVS Season 3. This is my third year here, so this is Season 3, alright? So today, I have a viewer question from AME 2020V. Or maybe it's AME has 2020 vision. Oh, 2020V, right? AME's 2020 vision. I got you. Wait a minute. I hope that I actually got that right. If I didn't, amuse me, okay? So anyway, her question was actually a really great question. This pillow just jumped out at me. Did y'all see that? Her question was a really, really great question. And it's a question that all women, all through time, have always asked. And it was so cute because when she asked the question, she was like, oh, I hope this isn't silly, or I know this sounds dumb. It's not dumb at all. Every woman, if you're a woman worth her salt, you have pondered this question in your mind at least once. For women like me, I'm a little bit hard-headed and it takes me some time to figure out left from right. But when I got it, right? So her question is, how do you know when a guy is into you? We've all been there, right? And some guys, how do you know when a girl is into you? I totally think this is a legitimate question. It's one that actually I've gotten more than once, and one that I've had to figure out the answer to. So let's hop right in. I actually recorded the answer to this a week ago, but I didn't like how I also had to put it together because my battery died, and so it was like half the video here, and I kind of sort of picked up with half, and then it ended up being two really long videos, and I was like, let's see, can we slice that down a little bit? So, anywho, yes, how can you tell? Honestly, even after rewatching the first video that I recorded, although I made some really great points, I hope it comes to me again in this video, but honestly, the easiest, simplest answer I can give you without being long-winded is that he will tell you. He will say it. Honestly, like, a man will tell you. He speaks English or whatever your native language is. He speaks the same language you do. You don't have to send him smoke signals and gang signs. He doesn't do none of that. He will say out of his mouth, you are something that I'm willing to work for. In fact, my mom, wait, side note, you should totally watch the movie, He's Just Not Into You. I don't know who wrote that movie, but they were like on it. That movie was so good. So if you haven't seen it, AME 2020 Vision, you should totally check that out. Like, that movie is on it. So on it. Now, why am I talking about movies? Because I saw Twilight. It was so good. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. Just know that it is a must-see. If you've never been a Twilight fan, if you've never watched any of them, I took two people with me who had never seen any of the Twilights, and they both loved it. It is so good. It was everything I expected and more. It was a great end to a wonderful series, and I think the reason why I was so up in arms about seeing it is because Twilight took me through my, the last half of college. You know, I was late to the scene, so some people have been watching since the beginning of college, but I saw the video at my homegirl's house, and I was like, oh my god. And so then I sat and I got the book, and I was like, well, I want to see what's going on. And I read through all 4 of those books in 3 weeks. It was and these are some big books. But they were just that good. And the movies are equally as good. I do like Eclipse better. New Moon movie was good. They had the best soundtrack for New Moon. Of all 4 soundtracks, New Moon definitely was on it. What was the... Eclipse was and Breaking Dawn, I think the first one, it was good. I think it's a toss-up too. I think the book had more details. But anyway, why am I saying all this? Because I saw my movie. I'm so excited. Team Jacob all day. Jacob is fine. Jacob is... A man like Jacob will tell you exactly what's up. In fact, he told Bella, you tripping. You know I like you. You know you like me. What's good? That's the kind of man you need. You don't need somebody lurking around the corner like, I love smelling your blood and I hope you like me smelling your blood. What are you saying? I need you to speak English, sir. What's happening? So, right? Anyway, I just had to say that because I was really, really excited. But a man will tell you, like, he speaks English. He'll tell you, hey, I'm trying to dig you. Like, I'm trying to see what's good. And this brings up my next point about my father. Now, for those of you who are new to the station, know that my father and I have a really, really interesting relationship. And you've probably heard me mention before that my father was a professional pimp, like as in where my money hoe pimp. So, yes, thank God for change, hallelujah. But my father was a pimp and a drug pusher. Back in the day, that's what he did, that's how he got his Skrilla. And yeah, I wasn't poor when I first grew up. Like, the first half of my life, I was not at all poor. So, but we had wealth for the wrong reason, amen. And that's when my mom was like, Deuce, I got to roll out, me and God, we decided this is not what's popping. So anyway, but my father, interestingly enough, is, and probably because like he's a minister now, so he's very, very open about his past. And so he told me, he was like, look, I got with your mother because, oh wait, let me give you some background. My father barely finished high school. Not because he's not smart. My dad is crazy smart. Not because he's not smart, but because he had his mind, he had his mind on his money, and education was not in that plan. So my father barely finished high school. They actually mailed him his degree. My mom has 3 degrees, so you can imagine the dynamics of growing up and to see her be humble and da-da-da-da-da. She's just an awesome woman. Shout outs to her. But my father told me, he was like, your mom, and my mom was fly back in the day. Cute. I mean, cute. I was like, oh, Mom, you all right. I see you, Foxy Brown. I see you. So my dad was like, you know, of all the women that were constantly like getting at him and whatever, so I had a sweater back in the day. Or it was sweater, my dad had it. He was like, yeah, I gave them, you know, what they wanted. I gave them what they wanted, but I wasn't gonna marry them. Like, why would I marry her, a female that all my friends knew? All my friends knew, or it's a chance we could be out and someone knew her where we were. Like, nah. When I talked to your mother and the fact that she made me work for it and she didn't give it up, like, he was like, I knew off break that she was gonna be mine. That was gonna be mine. Like, my name was gonna be on that. Nobody else's name. I didn't have to sketch nobody's name out. Nobody else's name out. That was mine. And he was like, when he really saw like how genuine my mother was and how classic she was and how much she had to offer, and that's why she was keeping her cookies to herself, my father was like, you know what, I could work for that. Matter of fact, I could spend the rest of my life working for that if I know she's gonna be happy. Bomb.com, boom. Who doesn't want that? What? I would love a man to say that to me. Yes, I'll work for you. I love putting a smile on your face, and I'll work the rest of my life putting a smile on your face. He was into her. It was clear. He made that verbally clear. I'm into you. Mind you, this is after my mother shut him down repeatedly, like, no, sir, and that's what you won't do. Not interested. I know you're kind. Not interested. So he definitely stepped up to the plate. And ladies, that's something you deserve. I don't want to say my dad is the best and use him as a model, although he's gangster in a lot of areas. What I am saying is, do not settle. Like, as a woman, you want a man that can articulate that you are the cream of the crop that he's seeking after. You want a man, and you deserve a man that will say, you know what, I don't mind working for you. Matter of fact, I don't mind not getting your cookies until you're good and John Brown and ready, even if that's after I do. Because what you bring to the table, not what's between your legs, is what I'm really after, and that's what awakens a part of me that lets me feel like it's me and you against the world. So I don't want anybody else stepping to you, so I'm into you. Let's see where this goes. And I'm not saying when a man says that it automatically equals marriage. What I am saying is that men and women have to communicate better. If you communicate better, there won't be miscommunication. Right? So if a man is able to articulate to you how he feels, and if the woman is able to hear it, then it's a healthy dialogue. Also, side note, this is for my fellas. Fellas, I'm hooking you up with some free golden nuggets right now. You need to speak up. You need to do that. Because if you don't tell a woman how you feel, we are innately wombers. Womb man. We womb things. What does that mean? What happens in a woman's womb? the seed is planted and it's nurtured and it's fed and she thinks about the baby, she plans for the baby, she's rubbing on her belly, it's all saucy and gravy for her and she's reading to the baby and it's great. Even after the baby is born, if the baby falls and jacks his leg up, he doesn't run to dad. He runs straight to mom because he knows mom is going to pick him up and coddle him and, oh, sugar poo, what's wrong? Blip, 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 blip. She's a nurturer. She can create something out of nothing. Ask a poor mother in the hood. I'm telling you, there will be nothing in the nothing in the cabinet. All of a sudden, it's like a 4-course meal. Where did this come from? Mom put it together. We are wombers by nature. We put things together. We grow things. We nurture things. We see things at their potential instead of where they are. And as women, we can't cut that off. That's the things that make us phenomenal. That's the thing that makes us wonderful housewives, if that's what you choose to be. That's the thing that makes us wonderful women, mothers, sisters. That part of us is what makes us a woman. We're able to womb things. So relationships are not exclusive of that. So if you don't tell a woman what you want on your canvas, oh, we will paint a picture, like fellas. We will paint a picture, and it might not be the one you're seeing in your mind. So what you want to do is definitely open your mouth, speak your piece. Like, yo, I'm really digging you. As if I had just a quarter for every time I heard this statement I'm about to make, I might be rich right now. I might be sitting on my yacht, which is gonna be my next big purchase. So I will always get, when I get married, it's me and you. When I'm ready to get married, it's me and you. I'm gonna call you. We get married. See this face? This is my I'm not amused and or impressed face. Seriously, like, who says that? When I'm ready, like, I'm calling you. If that were true, I am married to like so many men right now. It's not even funny. So anyway, my point is that even in that, he was able to articulate that, hey, you're the material of a woman that I want to spend my life with. However, right now, I'm not ready to be that. Why? Because they weren't that into me. Boom, bottom line, they were not that into me. Even dogs pee everywhere to mark their territory. If a man is not willing to mark his territory, not just with actions, but with words and committing words, then he's not that into you. Secondly, I don't know if I'm making a list or not, but let's just say this is number 2. No, yes, number 1 was that he will articulate it. Number 2, if a man is with another woman, it is impossible for him to be that into you. Plain and simple. It's impossible. Because if he's really already with another woman, if he hasn't left her, there is something there. Regardless of whether it's as much as it was when they first met, if it's barely anything, the point is he hasn't left. And the men, just as women, as we are innately wombers, men are innately leaders. They can't cut it off, even they don't want to be. The choices that they say and make, it causes a response. Men are the givers, women are receivers. The men give us the instructions, they give us the flow, they give us the tone of whatever relationship or connection, whether it's family, friends, or whatever. The women, we get their signals, we receive, we womb it, and then we produce something after that. I hope that made sense. So, in that, relationships are no different. If a man is with a woman, the signals that he's giving, that she's receiving, is that this relationship is still going on, whether it's raggedy, whether it's not working, whatever. The signal ultimately is saying, this is where I want to be because I haven't left you yet. When a man leaves a woman, he's deuces, he's gone, like, because he's already made up in his mind, this is the decision that I want to do. I don't want to be with you, you crazy. Or, this is not working, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Or, this is not healthy, this is not what it should be. We're both hanging on by a thread. There's no promise of future. Whatever the case may be, a man knows. He just knows. He can't explain it, he just knows. And he'll probably run it past his boys, he'll probably talk to his dad if he's real serious about it. But my point is, if he is with another young lady, that there is something within him that's keeping him there. And so, what you don't want is to become a barrier between whatever it is there and what he has for you, if that makes sense. You don't want to put yourself in the middle of something that's already toxic, because if he's not happy and he's talking to you, or if he is happy but is happier with you, but he's not willing to sacrifice and break that tie, then already you in the way. You already in the way, and you're selling yourself short, because a part of his heart already belongs somewhere. And no matter how good he makes you feel, no matter how much you miss him and you want to show him that you can do him better and blah blah blah, you will never have all of his heart because it's already attached somewhere else. And my mama used to say, now Ace, however you get a man, that's surely how you lose him. So be careful. You will reap every seed you sow when it comes to a relationship. Whatever momentum you create, that's the momentum you have to use to keep going. If you start out chasing him, if you start out buying him flowers, and if you start out as the role as the chaser, you're going to always be the chaser because he didn't choose you. The chooser, the person providing the covering is the chooser. That makes sense, right? So if I ask you to be married, then a guy can easily say, boom, what kind of covering you got? Like, what kind of job you got? What kind of this, what kind of that, what kind of whatever? Because I asked him. Vice versa, if he asked me, if he's the chooser, then I get to choose if this is what I want. Can we get married? All right. What are you working with? Where you want to live? What you want to do? You understand? Like, yes, there are two sides to every story, but what I'm trying to say is, Sweet Pea, if he is with somebody else, he is with somebody else. There's no room for you. Him and her. You can't fit in the and. It's him and her. Like, it's no room for you. And you don't deserve a part of anybody. You deserve, if you're giving 150, you deserve somebody else who's giving 150. So y'all can knock it out at 300. Because 300, you know, you've seen the movie, they were gangster, right? So you want to make sure that you're functioning at 300%. So I definitely wanted to hit that. And then he's telling you to wait because he is so into you. He's lying to you. I guarantee you he is lying to you. You are probably one of many who has made that same promise to you, because ultimately the truth of the matter is the man has not left. He's still there. Whatever is keeping him in that relationship, that you'll never get that part of him because it belongs to her. As jacked up as that may seem, because I know some men in some jacked up relationships, I'm just like, really? Really? But then I have to get to the point, and I just kind of bad this true. I'm like, I don't even feel sorry for you anymore. Honestly, I don't feel sorry for you because you as a man are choosing to be in that situation. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you get your hind parts up and move on. Like, but until you do that, you need to be right where you at. Don't come running to me either when it's over. Like, oh, I should have been with you the whole time. Right, and I need you to start at the beginning from scratch. So I need you to get some time to get rid of that relationship. Which brings me to my next point. It may be that you might have a connection with someone, and he might really enjoy who he is around you, and you might really enjoy who you are around him. That does not necessarily mean you're supposed to be together. Again, men and women need to learn how to be friends without befriending each other. Sometimes people just make you feel good, and you can just ride that vibe and roll out with it. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. I connect with this person on a spiritual level, and I don't mean spiritual like biblical, I mean spiritual like kismet. Like, we have good vibes, we make good music, good universe music together, and so I'm enjoying this exchange that we have. And so because of that, I enjoy spending time with that person. Boom. Become a better you while they're becoming a better them, while you guys are making each other great. On the journey, should he speak up and say, I'm ready to take this to another level, or I want to see what else is beyond our friendship, then it's all good, and you know he's that into you. If he never says it, he's simply enjoying the exchange of energy, and you should just enjoy that. Don't tie yourself in, don't womb that situation, don't go overboard, because while you all goo-goo gaga for somebody who's kind of, hey, I enjoy spending time, but I'm not really trying to be with you, while you're doing all of that, the person that God really has for you is standing over there looking like, God, that can't be them, because they goo-goo gaga over this dude, and this dude not even throwing him a phone, right? So you missed out on your own self because you were distracted, right? So don't allow that to fool you either, because I definitely have been there, done that, and I wasted so much time with someone who I thought they would get the picture, and I'm just gonna divulge. You guys know I don't mind being transparent. Okay, so there was a guy, we are really, really great friends to this day. He has this beautiful family now. He's doing wonderfully awesome. He's a doctor now, just great. In college though, we were super, super tight, like super, super, super tight. And I thought that him being kind, him taking care of me, him doing what a man should do for any woman around them, not just the woman they're interested in, but just little things that you should do. If a man is in your life, there are things that I feel, this is just my opinion by the way, I feel like there's certain things that a man should do if a woman is around, and vice versa. I think that there's a certain tone and there's a certain responsibility that a woman has when she's entertaining a man, be it her friend, be it her father, be it her brother. There's just some basic things that go across the board. But at the time, I didn't know that. At the time, I was just like, oh, this dude is doing X, Y, and Z for me, and we spend so much time together. He can't just enjoy my company. Obviously, he wants to be, you know, my man, and maybe he's, and I was making excuses, which is what we do as women, again, painting that canvas. Oh, well, maybe he likes me and he's scared. Maybe he thinks I say no, and then maybe he's not sure how to tell our mutual friends. And, I mean, I was working on a real Van Gogh, like, seriously. And so I gave him all these excuses in my mind, all these conversations I was having with myself instead of with him, and it caused me to be extremely embarrassed, not once, but twice. First time, because I thought I was grown. I've always really, really loved to live in a nice house. Like, I don't know why, but that's just I could go barefoot with no clothes, but if I go home to a nice house, then I'm good. Like, my house is my sanctuary. That's where I can, like, shut my brain off, be vulnerable, be myself, and just chillax after being in charge and dealing with folks and all their issues or whatever. Outside, when I come home, that's my peace, that's my sanctuary, right? So in college, I had a 3-bedroom home in college. My sophomore year, I was in the dorm. I gave it 1 year, and I was like, "Ooh, mommy, I tried. That was not. I appreciate God for the experience, but no." So I'm in this house. He was over my house all the time. So, in fact, my dog loved him better than the dog loved me. It was terrible. So, he came over one night, which he always came over after work. He worked late night shifts, so around 12:30ish, he was always over, and I always had food ready, whatever. So, this particular night, I was like, oh, I'm going to make the first move since maybe he's into me. He just doesn't know how to say it, right? So I had the lights set. I cut the lights down. We had the little what do you call it? What you call this? You turn it up and down. I don't know, but you guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, had the lights down dimmer. There you go. I had the lights down low. I had me some, who was playing in the background? I don't remember. Some grown-up music was playing in the background. Probably a grown-up mix. Was playing in the background. He came in, he was like, "What's wrong with the lights?" I was like, "Oh, nothing. Sit down. Are you hungry?" He was like, nah. I grabbed some BK on the way. And I was like, "BK? Nah, no worries. Dance with me." And he was like, "Dance with you? What do you mean dance?" I mean, literally, he was so confused as to what was going on. He was like, "Dance with you? What are you saying? What do you mean? What is happening right now?" And he was like, "Oh, where's Solomon?" That was my dog. It's like, "Where's Solomon?" I was like, "Oh, Solomon is at my friend's house." He was like, "Okay." So I just poured out my heart to him, like, "Oh, I really think, I just want you to know that it's okay. Like, what we're doing between us, we can take it to another level. It's okay." Basically, I gave him the invitation. I gave him the green light, right? Dude was so shocked and caught off guard. He literally didn't say anything. He was like, and walked out. Like, that was it. There was no nothing. Walked out. Mind you, it started raining. It had just started raining, like, halfway through this back and forth. And so anyway, he left and walked home in the rain. That clearly should have been a clue. Abe, he's not that into you. Because if he was, even if he wasn't into you, even if he wanted your cookies, something would have happened. Nothing happened. And so I was like, oh, I am so embarrassed. Oh, I was so embarrassed. I was super embarrassed. But because he's awesome, he came over the next day like nothing ever happened. Like, and I didn't bring it up either because I was embarrassed, and I was like, well, I'm gonna let that be that. So, but then the thing is, he never switched up how he acted. Like, it never got weird. So I was like, well, maybe he did. That canvas will get you every time. This Van Gogh had me all jacked up in my brain. So I was thinking, oh, well, maybe he did. Maybe it overwhelmed him. Maybe he wasn't ready. Whatever. Maybe he didn't know what to say, so he needed time to think, right? My mentors at this time. I'm trying to figure out how I embarrassed myself twice at this point. This is why you need mentors in your life. So you can run things like this by them so they can keep you from making a fool of yourself. I don't know where my mentors were, or maybe I didn't consult them. I don't know. Anyway, so I went to his house. He had a condo actually around the corner. So I went to his house, excuse me, because he was dog sitting, which actually used to just kidnap my dog. It wasn't really dog sitting. He really loved my dog. Like, they had their own bond. It was kind of weird. So I went to go pick my dog up because he had my dog. I went to go pick my dog up. And I had written him this note. Yes, I took it old school. I wrote him this note, and they had like a poem or whatever. You guys don't like to write. So I gave it to him, and I was like, no, read it now. I'll sit right here. So we're sitting on the stairs, and he read it, and he busted out laughing. It wasn't like a oh man, this is sweet. No, it was like, what? You know you're my dog. You know you're my homie. What you doing? What is this? I can't even take this letter. Yes, I mean laugh, like you tickle me for today, tickle me elbow, definitely. So both of those instances were learning lessons for me that just because a man is nice to you, just because a man takes care of you, just because a man goes out of his way to do something for you, does not mean you're number one on his list. It doesn't even mean you're on his list at all. What it means is he as a man is responding to who you are as a woman. And that's okay. That is totally okay. Some women bring out the manly in men, and that's awesome. And now I appreciate that about myself. And I think as I started to have that, experience, and I started to really own who I was and the part of our personality that's like charisma or whatever. Now I flirt. I am such a flirter. I am a flirter. Of course, it's healthy, but I am truly a flirter because I know that for some reason when men are around me, they feel like manly men, and that's what's up. So I definitely play the girly role. That's me. I enjoy it. I enjoy when men feel themselves and, you know, they turn it on. I love it. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think God created us to enjoy those things and enjoy those differences, but that's what I do. I enjoy it, but I am careful not to assume that him flirting back with me means that he likes me or he wants to be my boyfriend or whatever. Okay, now, bringing this in. The other thing is that, okay, let me recap in my own brain. So I already told you, he'll tell you, he didn't have to send smoke signals, he speaks English. 2, let him chase you. You don't need to chase him, right? If he's into you, he will do the chasing. 3, don't make up things that aren't there. That's probably the biggest one. Do not make up things that aren't there. Like, let him, again, tell you, let him set the pace. You cannot follow from the front. Never. Or never, ever, 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 ever. I do teach English, I promise. Also, men and women can just be friends. Don't mess up the vibe. Like, if it's a good vibe, just let it be a vibe and enjoy what it is. Don't try and rush it. Don't try and push it. Don't try and make it into something. Which, I don't know if I said this or not already, but women, we like labels. We like to organize stuff. We're great organizers. We love to put stuff here and put people here and put this here. You're in the friend zone. You're in the boyfriend zone. You're in the I hope I have your baby zone. Like, we do that. We do, again, we do it without even thinking. We compartmentalize things, and having a compartmentalized life is great. That is a good thing. But when it comes to that gray area, when you're friends, there might be something going on, but you're not boyfriend or girlfriend, that gray area, compartments can jack you up every time. Just let it be gray. Until it turns into black or white, just let it be gray. And enjoy that it's gray. Enjoy what it is. You are responsible for your own emotions, okay? You cannot put the onus on a man to figure out how you feel, how he's making you feel, where you want it to go in the future, what you enjoyed from the past. You can't. That's not his responsibility. And when you do that and you put that expectation on him and he falls short, now your feelings are hurt. But in essence, you never actually verbalize, hey dude, I'm feeling you. Or hey, I don't know what's going on. I want to be your friend, but I feel like something is going on. Am I missing it? Am I right? Am I on it? Ask him. The worst he can do is say no. I mean, and ultimately, if he's really your friend and if it's really a good vibe, when he says no, it might be awkward a little bit, but after that, you should be able to talk and set boundaries and say, okay, cool. You don't want to be with me? No problem. I'm awesome for someone else. However, what I need to do is give us some space and time so that, I can put you in the friends box where you belong. And that's okay. You have to always remain true to your own integrity of how you feel. Like, again, it's not his responsibility to figure that out. Just like he'll speak English and tell you, hey, I like you, I'm into you. You also need to speak English. Use your words and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with the fact that we're not together. You have another girlfriend. I don't want you to talk to me about your girlfriend because I feel like I could be a better girlfriend for you. And since you don't feel that way, that's fine, but I need some time to put you where you belong so that I don't ever take you out of that box, so that this doesn't become weird, this doesn't become unnecessary. I don't like being jealous of you and your girlfriend, right? You could say that. Or you could maybe have this conversation. You're not seeing anyone, I'm not seeing anyone, but you're enjoying your singleness. I'm trying to be tied down. I think we're on 2 different pages, so I just have to be careful with what I do with my emotions at this point. You're totally entitled to say that, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. And if he's really your friend, if you really have a vibe going, then he will appreciate your honesty, because the men that I know don't like guesswork. They just don't. Like, they want to know what's good. Am I getting cookies? Oh, I'm not? Appreciate you telling me that up front. Oh, I'm going to get cookies later. I got to work. Let me think if I want to do that, and I'm going to get right back to you. Or, that's cool. I don't want your cookies anyway. I'm just enjoying spending time with you, so is it cool that we can spend time? You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes like for you, again, this is my experience, men, dudes, whatever you want to call them, like for you to be upfront. Let them know what's going on. Like, who wants to walk in the fog and not know where they're going? No, and that's not adventurous. Walks in the fog have never been adventurous. It's always walks on the beach, a long walk in the park, whatever, but the vision has always been clear. It is not fun not to know where you're going. You don't believe me? Walk in a haunted house. It's the only reason haunted houses work, because you don't know where you're going. Don't make a haunted house out of your friendship. Because, again, you want to be able to enjoy spending time with people without it being awkward. I can tell you, especially living overseas, I have a lot of male friends here. I've always had male friends anyway, but I have a lot of male friends here, and with those male friends, I enjoy being a woman around a man's man. I enjoy that. But by the same token, I more so cherish the fact that I can be myself. I can get crazy and, this is making me crazy, and then they can give me their 2 cents. I can talk to them about another man. I can talk to them about a girl problem, whatever, and they're able to give me that manly insight, like, whoa, from my view, da-da-da-da-da. Like, oh, that makes absolute sense, because, you know, men and women, we think different. So these are exchanges that you should cherish, you should want in your life. So don't, again, paint yourself a picture and jump the gun, and now you jeopardize something that's even more valuable, friendship, right? And that honesty. So, I don't know how I got on friendship and honesty, but yeah, definitely want to do that. I'm trying to think. I think that's kind of the gist of it. I think I made really long videos before because I was talking out my thoughts, but now that I heard the video, I think I just hit all the highlights for you. Maybe I should do that more often, make long videos for myself and then give you guys the highlights. That might work, right? Some of you guys love my long videos, and that's great. I don't intend for them to be long. I honestly am trying to answer the question realistically, but how I am, I have to, like, talk it out in my head and make sure that's really what I wanted to say and whatever, and so sometimes it turns into really long. And or I want to make sure that I'm understood, so I try to say things more than one way, so I hope people understand it. I think I hit pretty much everything I wanted to say. Side note, yeah, don't settle. Don't even, like, first of all, you should have a standard, for sure. Like, you should know what kind of man you want. What kind of man you want. Man of God. You should know what kind of man you want. So, in that, first of all, whether a guy is feeling you or not, that's not even important. You need to feel yourself. Like, and that probably sounded like an invitation to masturbate. It really wasn't. I was trying to say that you should be in your own corner, so much so that you don't settle. Like, and honestly, I'm thinking about something. I don't know. I'm going to put this together. If you know who you are, and you know what you do and do not want, and you know what you will and will not settle for, and you know exactly how you want to be and feel and look when you're around your particular significant other, then when an option, because they're all options, right? There's no final answer, they're all options. So when an option comes along, if it doesn't match up with what you've already put together, it doesn't even matter whether they're into you or not, because you can kill time and say, you're not what I'm looking for. boom, it's done. Like, there's no time wasted, because ultimately that's the worst thing that happens when you're in the gray area and you try and put titles on it, whatever. Is he into me? Is he not into me? You're wasting time. Like, and you can't get that back. Like, that's the most valuable thing and the most tragic thing that happens, is that you wasted these months waiting for this guy to muster up the courage to talk to you. There's nothing to muster up, because he doesn't want to talk to you. Not like that. So, if you already know who you are, what kind of man you want, I call him champion. He's not here yet. Champion, where are you? I don't know where he is. But while you're waiting for your champion, or if a contender for your champion comes, then you can have a barometer to match it up to. If he doesn't fit, then why waste your time? No, your English is not enough. I can't. Next. Really? You're that tall? I'm short. You shorter? Next. I mean, seriously, that might sound shallow, but for me, I'm 4'11". So if you're 4'10", 4'8", that would have to be, God would have to like write me a personal letter outside of the 66 books. That's his longest love letter ever. Aside from that, he would need to send me a personalized letter stamped. And he needs to lick the envelope. Because 4'8"? Yeah, no. So have these standards. There's no need to waste your time. I don't need to know if somebody who's 4'8" is into me or not. It's completely irrelevant, because I'm not into him already. So I think that that's the other part of it. When we are not secure about what we deserve and what we want and what we should have, then comes the question and answer like, oh, I like this guy and he has this much of what I want, but I don't know if he likes me. Me personally, the man that I want to have in my life, someone that I would want to exchange with and build with, is someone who can articulate their feelings clearly towards me. For me. So, is he into me, is he not into me, it becomes irrelevant, because if he's into me, then he'll say, Abe, I'm into you. I don't want you to date anyone else. I don't want you to go out on any more dates. I want all of your dates from here on out to be with me. Even after you're married, we're going to have date night. Like, that's what's good. Like, I want that. And again, this is just for me, because I'm in charge in so many other places. In my relationship, I'm a completely different Avery. Men who have dated me, they can tell you I am not the what, this is what I want done. I'm like that about business, because I feel like you get one shot and you gotta make it work, right? But in my relationship, I am totally submissive. I believe in southern roles, like for men and women. I definitely believe in that, and I'm totally submissive. Like, that's me. I'm completely submissive, and so I would need a man who can be in charge and say, this is what we're not gonna do. That's what we're not going to do. Shut it down. And I'll gladly tip it up. Alright, I'll shut it down. Like, seriously, a man who can communicate, a man who's going to P's and Q's, that man can get anything he wants from me. Pray for me. Maybe that's why he's not here yet. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, a man who's on his P's and Q's makes you want to be a woman to the fullest extent on his arm, right? So, I think that women, and that's me, but whatever your champion looks like. And I say champion because I feel like I'm a whole lot. And so he's going to have to be a man who can handle all of my personalities, right? Like, if I feel like being Wanda from the block, I just said Wanda because I was going to call my friend Wanda. Or if I want to be Rebecca today, okay? Or if I want to be super deep and spiritual or goofy, I need to be able to roll with me whatever I'm feeling like that day. And I need him to be able to articulate at a business dinner, I can't articulate, but I need him to be able to talk and hold his own at a business dinner, or if we're hosting people at my home, or if we're just out and about and it's him and I and someone random comes up to talk, I need to know that he can hold his own. Like, that's a champion. Like, you have to be able to conquer whatever situation, right? And save me. Conquer and save. That is the idea. Conquer and save. So, figure out what you want. You be that into you. Date yourself. Figure out who you are, what makes you fly, what you're bringing to the table. Then you won't be waiting in the balance trying to figure out if this guy likes you or not, because in your mind you'll be like, you don't like me. What? Stop lying. Seriously? You not? Oh, you want them. Well, alright. Alright then. Well, you go ahead and be you, and I'm going to keep being fly me, and maybe we'll have each other on the other side of the rainbow. Like, alright. You'll be, I mean, that type of confidence will draw the kind of guy that you want, right? But I feel like when we're still growing and figuring out the kind of woman we want to be and the kind of woman that this particular guy makes us feel like and whatever, when we're in that questionable mode about ourselves, that's when you get into that questionable mode about the man, because you're trying to figure out how to paint that picture, right? But when you get confidence about who you are, regardless of black, gray, white, or whatever color, it could be pink, it doesn't matter. You will be able to articulate and or wait for him to articulate, and if not, you won't get your emotions unnecessarily spread all over the place. Unnecessarily. Because you'll be like, no, I'm fly. I'm not going to unzip my heart unless there's a worthy person for that. And again, you can enjoy people's company without falling in love with them. Like, learn how to do that. You can enjoy being around a man and having him take you out to dinner and treat you like a woman and have intelligent conversation, give you compliments, say, oh, you look lovely tonight. Wow, the moon is shining off your eyelids, or whatever it is you want to hear a guy say, whatever. I would probably laugh if someone told me that, but whatever. When those things happen, you won't get all flustered, and I really think, someone told me, and I'm going to bring this to a close, thanks and friends. Someone once told me on YouTube, first of all, side note, someone sent me a message that I look like I smell good. I hope I smell good. I like to smell good. I love perfume. I have a perfume fetish. So, shout out to you. Thanks for that compliment. And I do think I smell good. People tell me I smell good, so I hope I smell good. Me, Vera Wang, Bath and Body Works, we work it out. Mix it up and work it out. But someone else told me on one of my YouTube videos, oh, the reason why you're dating these Asian guys and it's not working out is because you're measuring everybody to Oprah. And at first I was like, what? But then I was like, you know what? You're right, I am. I measure everyone's Sumbum. You guys can call him Oprah. Y'all have worn that name. I'm just officially done. I can't. Sumbum. I'll call him Sumbum until I get another nickname for him and I. Because I don't like to share. That's me. I don't like to share. Woo! Pray for me, okay? So, I do measure everyone to him. Not just him, to my father, to my brothers, to my cousins, to the fly men I know who have been married for some years, to my godfather, to my uncles. I have been really blessed to have awesome examples of men. Granted, my dad jumped to the plate a little late, granted, but he was awesome sauce once he was in the flow, he was great. And even in his negativity, like, he was never a bad father. Let me just also say that. He never was like, I hate you. It was never crazy like that. But those examples, and of course Jesus Christ is the biggest one, but those examples of men around me showed me what a man should treat me like. I should be treated like gold. Seriously. I should be treated with the same worth that I have for myself. These are things that should happen. If my tire goes out, yes, I can change the tire. I can also change my oil. But if there's a man around, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting out to pump the gas either. Like, you're in the car, you go do it. Right? Because there are things that I'll hop to it and do because I feel like that's my role as a woman. So, with having these men around, because I don't feel like a man who beats his woman is a man's man. I don't feel like a man who uses words to tear down the value or the self-esteem of the woman he's around is a man's man. I don't feel like a man who makes a woman feel like she should know her place and never step out of her place or it's going to be consequences. That's not a man's man. You're a punk and a coward, and I'm telling you that. Come see me if you got a problem with it. But being around those men's men, I feel like gave me that parameter I was talking about, right? The standards that I feel like I have, the things that I feel like I desire in a champion is because I was surrounded by so many champions. So I feel like that's all I know is a champion. Like, you can't come, I've been around first place winners. You can't come to me as a third place runner-up. You was a runner-up for third place? And you want me to take your inquiry seriously? I can't do it. I can't. I can't. You have nothing going for you. There's nothing exciting about you. There's nothing at all other than you love me. Really? You can't love me. It's impossible for you to love me because in order to love me, you have to be a champion. Get it? See what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm a champion's prize. So, I said all that to say, yes, I do measure, again, I feel like Oprah is in the box with the other champions in my life, and I do, like, especially with him being Korean, and when I'm going out with these Asian guys, because when I go out with them, and they have those traditional Korean thinking, and they say off the wall traditional Korean stuff, and they tell me about their traditional Korean family. I'm like, because it's a choice. It is a choice. If I have learned nothing else, and I've learned so much from my relationship and my friendship with SUUUUUUBBBBBBBEEEEE, but one thing I've learned that is just is that open-mindedness, learning about something other than yourself, being open, being flexible to the world around you, and not feeling like your way is the only way. I've learned that from him. So for me, ignorance has always been a choice, and it always will be a choice. So if I'm across the table from a man who says, oh, well, when I turn 30, I want to be married, and then I want to have my first child at 31, and I want my wife to cut off her hair and get a perm like an ajumma, because that's the thing that we should do, because society says we should do it. We have nothing to talk about, because I know that you could be from Korea, and you could have an open mind, and you could explore something different, and at least be open to Western culture. Because I know SUUUUUUBBBBBBBEEEEE, I know a couple other people who have changed. They chose not to be in that society. So why am I talking about this? Oh, right. Standards. So yes, and I believe it was just Call Me Mrs. M. I might be wrong, but I think that was her. If it wasn't you, my bad. But she, had mentioned, oh, it's because, then I hope you're right, they're not. And I'm not expecting anybody to be him, but it's the qualities that he exudes, that he chooses to exude. It's the qualities that my father has. It's the qualities that these, like I said, the champions of my life, they've set a high standard. Blame them. Like, I don't know what else to say. Blame them, and blame the women that love him. Fly marriages. I'm telling you, I've been around a lot of fly, just on point, healthy. They communicate. They still go on dates, and they old as Methuselah marriages. And before that, they were telling me about their dating lifestyle. And so I feel like I've already tasted how good it can be, and so I just don't want to settle. And so I hope all of this answers your question. If he is into you, he'll tell you. Most importantly, though, you need to focus on being into yourself, because if you are into yourself, you'll be so tied into reaching your own personal goals, your own destiny, cleaning up your own messes, because we all have made messes in life, right? And we all have decisions to do to get our footing. So you'll be so into making your life the best it can be and living your life at an abundant level that he'll have to say, hey ma'am, hi, I'm champion. Right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to need you to pay attention a little bit. I'm going to take you on a couple dates, and then we're going to talk about what happens after that. Alright? So I'm going to let you go ahead and finish what you were doing, and I'm going to call you later, and we're going to work it out from there. Like, he's going to have to say that, because you're going to be so tied up in your own life and what you're doing that when that experience comes along, you have to pull you at your coattails. If you got time to sit and twiddle your thumbs and does he like me? Does he not like me? Or maybe he really does like me. Or maybe he doesn't like me. Or maybe he likes me and doesn't know how to say it. If you have time for that, you're not taking care of yourself, I think. I could be wrong. Don't shoot the computer screen. But I just feel like if you're tied up in your own thing, man, he'll have to articulate to you, hey, I'm digging you, because you might miss it, right? So he'll have to say it, and he'll be so distraught with the thought that he didn't do everything he could to get your attention and let you know he was interested. He'll have to say something. He'll have to, because he won't be able to bear the thought that somebody else will be making you happy. Like my father said, you know what, I'm willing to work for the cookies and for the rest of my life after, because we're going to get married. My father said he knew in the first date, and the funny thing is, it wasn't even really a date. My dad actually found out, because my dad, side note, my dad and my uncle were best friends, and they met in the war, they met in Vietnam together, and they came back over at the same time. So he was coming home for some southern cooking with my uncle. My mom was home, and my dad saw my mama was like, yo, Slim. My mom was like, and closed the door right in his face, which is hilarious, I think. So then they were at the dinner table, and my dad was steady trying to back my mom up, and my mom straight gave him the I don't speak English, I don't know what she's talking about. She was sly with it, but she definitely ignored him at the table. Fast forward, my dad was like, I'm trying to see what's good with your baby sister? Like, what's good? And my uncle, with his sneaky self, my uncle was like, well, if you can promise me that you won't treat her like all of these other women, she's going to be at such a bar. And so, or, I don't know if it's a bar, I don't know. Anyway, because mama didn't drink. That's sometimes I think, why I said a bar? But, anywho. So, he showed up and struck up the conversation, and he kept saying, so, how you liking our date? And my mom was like, we are not on a date. How did you even know where I was? And it was all over after that. So, yeah, that was a G. He scooped that right on up. So, wait for your champion is my point. Wait for your champion. Wait for the time where you don't have to be caught in limbo. If you're caught in limbo, ladies, do not stay there. Roll up out. Like, you don't have to stay in limbo. Hey, bruh, I need some time and space. Don't call me. I'm going to call you. Get yourself together. Get your emotions together. Because there's nothing worse than an emotional woman running around emotional. Oh, my gosh. Run for the hills. Get your emotions together. Take some time, which you owe yourself and that person owes you too. Take some time, figure out what's going on and what you want, and like, figure it out. Just take a moment, figure it out. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not him, it's you. If you're wondering if he's into you, it's you who have got some things you need to answer and figure out and iron out on your own. And then when you do that, everything else will fall into place. So, I hope I've given you some advice that's made sense. Thank you so much for writing your letter to me, writing a question to me. And some of you have written me letters, and I'm so thankful for those letters. It's taken me a while to get through them all. The thing is, most of the time when I get your messages and your letters, I'm in transit, and I don't want to just, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. I really want to give you a sincere answer. And for those of you who have got answers from me, you know, if you write me a page, I'm going to write you a page right back. I'm not going to hit you with a 1-2 liner. And those who I have not gotten back to, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. It is not that I don't want to answer you. And I will tell you this for sure, I don't care when I will write everyone back. I don't care when I write you back. Understand, if you write me something that requires prayer, I pray immediately. Now that I don't need to be anywhere to do anywhere special to do. To write you, I'd rather sit down on my computer and whatever. But prayer, some of you guys have just blown me away with your prayer requests and the things that you have petitioned for God, before God, and the things that your heart wants to do. I'm just blown away. I'm moved by just, wow, like, people have these dreams and these thoughts, and I know that God's heart is for those things to be fulfilled. He wouldn't have given you those desires if He hadn't planned a way of provision for you. It's a matter of us standing on His promises until it manifests. You know what I mean? So I'm always praying for you guys. Even those, I pray for all my viewers anyway, but specifically those who write into me, and even those who say there is no God, or, you know, I'm not sure, I'm on the fence with it, I pray for you anyway, because guess what, God is still God, with or without you. Like, He's still God, and so I still pray to Him on your behalf. So I definitely wanted to say that as well, because it's been, this past week I got like 4 like whoosh messages, and I was just like, wow. And they all started with, I love your videos and you inspire me, and I learned so much, and I'm honored that I can sit in front of my camera via your computer screen, and, oh wait, sit on your computer screen via my camera, and just sit and chit chat, because that's really all I'm doing. I'm glad that my jack-ups in life, because I've had so many jack-ups, woo, God, I have dropped the ball so many times. I am thankful that those failures and those, like, Avery, what are you doing with your life, honey? What's happening? We need to get this in line. I'm glad that those things, and the things my mother taught me, and the things that my sisters have taught me, I'm glad those are able to help someone, because I can't take this stuff with me to the grave, right? So I'm glad that I'm able to pour that out to you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are able to hear and understand where I'm coming from. And I'm just really overwhelmed. I'm really honored and overwhelmed, and I'm not gonna cry. I don't know what it is with me lately. I have just been a ball of tears lately. Jeez. I just, again, thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for giving me your input, even when you don't agree. I appreciate that too. I don't expect everybody to agree with everything I say. You know, and I learn from people who disagree with me. I don't have to agree with them to learn. I don't have to agree with you to learn from you. And so I appreciate you guys even voicing your disapproval of something I've said, or your disagreement, or whatever. I appreciate that too. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this. One day, Lord, I would like to do this for pay. Hallelujah. So, I'm glad. In the meantime, I'm glad that you guys hang out with me for free. And send me your next question. It's not really viewer Q&A. I guess maybe it is viewer Q&A. I don't know. It's just me hanging out with you guys, and when you guys write me an answer and a question, and I'll answer it for you. Yeah, so that's all I want to say on this video. I'm actually going to be wearing the same outfit, so don't trip out. I'm going to be wearing the same outfit in the next video because someone else wrote me a letter that actually make a video response about church hurt. So I'm going to holler at that and get that knocked out the way so I can get these both up and out to you guys within the week. I love you all. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It's nighttime here. It's probably... See, I've been home, it's probably 10:30ish at night, and so I hope that I have a wonderful sleep while you guys are having a great day. So, thank you for watching MKJ TV live from Busan, South Korea. See you guys. Bye.